What is going on, YouTube people? Today, Fanatics has established their dominance once again, this time over the distribution world. Nothing surprising here. I had actually heard this talking to a local shop owner in regards to Bowman as well. So this was a post on Facebook made today in regards to Southern Hobby not getting Topps product. They specifically call out Bowman, but they also mentioned some other ones in there as well. But Bowman is obviously the headliner here. And I talked to a shop owner recently that basically said the same thing, that they had Bowman ordered. It was all ready to come on in and it never showed up. And they reached out to Southern Hobby, and Southern Hobby eventually told them it's not coming. We never got any from Fanatics. This comes as no surprise, as Fanatics has been heading in this direction for a while. This is just another domino to fall, assuming this is indeed affecting everybody. Maybe they got a small amount and they had to put it towards top tier customers. I don't know the full backstory of each the person that I talked to, and also this Facebook commenter in a Facebook group in regards to where they were on the totem pole with distribution, because that's how this nonsense works. So it could be maybe they were lower down and maybe only the top tier accounts got some, but the Southern Hobby story is that they got none. Regardless, they probably didn't get as much as they thought they were supposed to get. And like I said, this comes as no surprise. We've been basically talking about this and discussing this since the Fanatics came into the marketplace. This is what they do. Distribution was the biggest ones that should have been shaking in their boots because they are not needed. Fanatics has a direct-to-consumer platform, and they have the hobby shops that they want to work with in direct sales. They still might need distribution for retail, but maybe that is even a stretch. They might be able to even handle that on their own, or they'll partner with one or two people and that'll be the end of it. But even that, if Target doesn't care how much Bowman they get per se versus a local shop. So if you're a small store and you are not direct with Fanatics and you're relying on these other distributors to get you Topps product, scary times. Scary times. This is the Fanatics world that we are all living in. This is the reason why Fanatics came into the marketplace, because they saw an inefficiency. They were like, wait a second. Panini makes the cards, then they sell them to the distributor, then the distributor marks them up a whole bunch, and then sells them to the card shop. It doesn't take a business genius to sit down and look at that and be like, wait, so you're leaving a bunch of money on the table and letting the distributor make it off the product that you have exclusive rights to? Okay, sure. Yeah, we're going to take this business. And we talked recently coming out of the Topps conference about them having the rules for the shops, and they need to follow this and that and do certain things and have a social presence and market a certain way and all this sorts of stuff. And they can do that. They have the supply. And if you're not willing to play by their rules and dance to their beat of the drum, then you're just not going to get allocation. And frankly, at this point, at least in the short to medium term, it doesn't affect them. Why? Because there's probably a long list of people behind you that are willing to do whatever you're not willing to do to get allocation. And that is kind of the world that we sit in at the moment. If you're a shop, you either play by Fanatics rules if you want to sell their product, or figure it out. And, Southern Hobby was one of the outlets that had the capability to still get distribution and then redistribute that product. But it sounds like if that tap's not completely shut off, it is running dry. It's funny, too. Topps had a conference call last week. I didn't cover it because it wasn't really new information. It was what we already knew. It was just a reminder. Topps had a conference call last week with shops reminding them, hey, you're not to sell product business to business within the first 30 days of release. And you're also not to sell it before release date. So Fanatics continues to tighten the screws on everybody. And they could do that. That's the ability that they have to do in the position that they are in. You might like it. You might not like it. You might hate it. You might complain about it in the comments. But Fanatics put themselves in this position to be able to dictate terms to everybody, like it or not. Like it or not. Now, the other little interesting side angle to this is, do you know who owns Southern Hobby? They were recently purchased by somebody. Do you know who they were purchased by? I'll give you a minute. We talked about it. It's probably about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember exactly when it went down. Beckett owns Southern Hobby. So I have to imagine this hurts Southern Hobby to a degree. I don't know Southern Hobby's full business holdings. I'm sure they distribute a lot of other stuff. I know they do a lot with Pokemon and TCG in general. So they'll probably be fine just based off of that. There'll be a lot of stores that only do TCG that have nothing to do with sports. So I don't think, Southern Hobby's not dead or anything like that, but it's not a super great spot to be when all of a sudden you lose the future of sports cards as they move to go direct, and either direct to shops or direct to consumer. So a little bit of a elbow into the ribs of Beckett and Intrust Global, who is the parent company over there. I don't know if it's, Fanatics taking a slight swipe to undercut the legs a little bit of the group to try to get in on Beckett. That's always been a long-standing rumor. And just to address this again, everyone's like, hey, Fanatics should buy Beckett. Why don't they buy Beckett? The problem is the Beckett grading, BGS itself, the card grading aspect of Beckett is really the only part of it that you want. Maybe you want CBCS too, but that would be a long shot. The issue is Beckett has all this other nonsense. So are they willing to sell just the grading division on its own? Or are they going to make you buy everything? And if they make you buy everything, that's going to scare people off, because now you got to take all this other junk just to get Beckett, which, let's be honest, isn't exactly, the golden nugget that it used to be. So that is where we currently sit. Fanatics continues to put downward pressure, cutting out potentially. Sure sounds like it, at least based off of a few different people that I've talked to over the last few days. Putting the screws to distribution, not surprising. We knew that this was going to happen. Laying down the air quote, the law to shops over the last month or so, saying, hey, this is the song, start singing it, dance to it. And if you're not willing to, guess what? There's a whole bunch of backup singers waiting to take your spot. We'll gladly work with them if you won't. And, I could hear the doom and gloomers say that they want to put local shops out of business. I don't think they actually do. They need local shops for the marketing aspect of it. And here's the thing. They're basically getting free marketing from all the shops. The network of shops that they have that are direct to consumer are essentially doing social grassroots marketing all over the country and the world for them, because they want you to market Topps product on your individual social channels. So that's a whole bunch of free marketing Topps gets out of the deal just for them being direct accounts. So that's a major side benefit of Topps, that they get all this extra marketing buzz, and all they have to do is give you access to spend money with them. That's a pretty sweet deal for Topps/Fanatics. So smart business all around. You might not like it. But it's smart business from top to bottom. So that's all I got for you, boys and girls. Curious for your thoughts and comments, as always, down below. Catch you on the next one. Peace.